Hello and welcome to another video from Minor Stokes Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today, well, we're looking at something that's now quite old, has become very collectible, and is becoming increasingly more difficult to find, especially in this near mint condition. Now, we are looking at the 1982 release for the upcoming 1983 year by World Distributors from their series of yearly annuals. And this particular one we're looking at today is of Fame, which is all based on the very, very popular 1980s television series of the same name. Now, Fame was an American musical drama television series, and it was based on the 1980 movie of the same name. And it followed the lives of the students and faculty at the New York City's High School of Performing Arts. Very, very popular television series. It ran for 6 seasons. And there was a total of 136 episodes produced, with each episode running for about an hour. It first aired in January 7th, 1982, and the final episode aired in May 1987, although there were subsequent reruns after that. So very, very popular television series, but surprisingly enough, that despite the popularity of the show, there wasn't really any real notable stars that came out of the television series. Once the television series finished, the stars just seemed to, well, disappear. Anyway, it did spark the annuals, and there was some annuals produced. I think 4 annuals in total were produced over 4 years, with this particular one we're looking at being the very first one, which was 82 for the 83 year. There was also a 1984, 1985 and 1986 annuals that were all released based on the same television series. Okay, so this is the annual in front of us, and this is the front cover, and it says Fame Annual 1983, and it's got authorised edition as seen on BBC TV, and it's got music, fun, human interest, all in a great new series. And you've got the World Distributors logo there, and you've got photographs from the actual TV series, and you've got a few of the actors in the little blue box at the bottom there. Okay, that's the front of the annual. Turn it over to the back, and what have we got on the back? Yep, again, we've got some more photographs from the TV series, and it says Fame Again, Annual 1983, and you've got the class there dancing, and you've got at the top there, I think that's Leroy, in his hat as he appeared in the early episodes. The SBN number at the bottom, 7235 66763. Just have a very quick look at the spline, and it says Fame Annual, and you've got the World Distributors logo at the bottom there. Okay, that is the front and back covers. Why don't we open it up and let's have a look inside. Okay, so I've opened the annual up, and bear with me because it's almost a crisp clean. This is. It was a shop annual. However, I don't know if you noticed there, but the corner has been clipped. They clipped the price off, and they put a reduced price sticker on the front cover because obviously it didn't sell there, so they reduced the price and they took the original price off. But it still didn't sell, and it ended up remaining in the stock room. But anyway, but because it's so new and hasn't been open much, we're going to find that the pages are going to try and close, so I may have to hold them open. So this is the inside of the front cover, and again you've got the actors from the TV series. As you can see, there's one there up in colour, and there's 4 black and whites there, and it says Fame Annual 1983. And again we've got some more photographs from the TV series. So the contents, we've got stories: One Small Step, All It Takes, Fall Guy, Success in a Minor Key, Looking for the Man, Team Effort, Pictures at an Exhibition. And you've got the features: About the Show, Debbie Allen plays Lydia, Lee Curry plays Bruno, Eric Gimple plays Coco, P.R. Paul plays Montgomery, Gene Anthony Ray plays Leroy, Valerie Landsberg plays Doris, Laurie Singer plays Julie, Carol Mayo Jenkins plays Miss Sherwood, Albert Haig plays Professor Shrevosky, and the Big Apple. So you've got World Distributors logo there, and it's copyright 1982 by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Inc. All rights reserved throughout the world. Published in Great Britain by World International Publishing Limited, a Pentos company, PO Box there in Manchester, and printed in Belgium. And you've got the SBN number there. Okay, so the first article is about the show, and it tells you that the show that's set against the backdrop of New York's famous stage school, the School of the Arts. Fame explores the dreams and challenges of the students here, who each has his or her own particular longing to achieve that elusive quality fame. It says summer stars on the Fame lineup for a happy shot, taken during a photo session in a break from rehearsals. They are from left to right. Top row, Lee Curry, Carol Mayo Jenkins, and Albert Haig. Middle row, P.R. Paul, Valerie Landsberg and Debbie Allen. Bottom row, Laurie Singer, Jean Anthony Ray, Carlo Imperto and Eric Kimball. There we are. So that's the cast, the main cast of Fame. Okay, so the first story we've got is called One Small Step, and it is a full story with colour illustrations, and that runs for 2, 4, 6, 8 pages, and then we've got some bios on the characters. So you've got Debbie Allen plays Lydia. Debbie Allen plays the beautiful and talented dancer Lydia in Fame. And you got Lee Curry plays Bruno. Lee Curry feels a great bond with Bruno, the character he plays in Fame. Okay, I'm not going to read all of it, but there we go. So the next story is called All It Takes. And again, it is a full story with colour and monocolour illustrations. So we go 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 7 pages there. And we got Eric Kimball plays Coco. The old tradition of the showbiz professional being born in a trunk came as near as it possibly could to being true in the case of Erica Kimball. She comes from a family background of the theatre and spent much of her early childhood touring with her mother in Australia, Portugal and the States. P.R. Paul plays Montgomery. P.R. Paul has a favourite hobby which doesn't exactly endear him to his neighbours. He just loves playing the drums. Oh, that's lovely. You wouldn't want a neighbour like him, would you? Okay, next full story is called Fall Guy. And it is a full story again with monocolour illustrations. And it runs for 2, 4, 6, 7 pages. Jean Anthony Ray plays Leroy. A natural in given sense of the word, Jean Anthony Ray left cinema audiences breathless when he performed his first stunning dance routine in the film of Fame from which the series was developed. There we go. Sadly, he's actually passed away. Anyway, moving on. So the next story, again, is a full story. And it looks like it's got mono, colour and colour illustrations on this one. So we've got 2 pages, 4 pages, 6, 8 pages. And then we've got Valerie Landsberg plays Doris. Valerie Landsberg is the child of showbiz parents who grew up in the showbiz community of Hollywood, attending Beverly Hills High School and studying drama. And the next story is Looking for the Man, and it's a story with colour illustrations by the looks of things. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages on that one. Laurie Singer plays Julie. Born into a world of music, Laurie Singer is the daughter of the famous conductor Jacob Singer, and Laurie herself is an accomplished performer. Next story is called Team Effort, and this is colour and monocolour illustrations, and that runs for 2, 4, 5 pages. Carol Mayo Jenkins plays Miss Sherwood. Carol Mayo Jenkins was an experienced, successful actress in shows from Broadway to San Francisco before she was cast for the part of Miss Sherwood in Fame. Albert Haig plays Professor Swarovski. Albert Haig is one of the 3 members of the film cast of Fame who have transferred their roles to the small screen. He has had a long and extremely broad career in show business, encompassing the roles of teacher, lecturer, coach and performer, and he has also won a coveted Tony Award and composed hit Broadway numbers. There we are. Next story, pictures at an exhibition, and that is a full story with monocolour images, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages, and that brings us to the end of the annual. And the last feature is the Big Apple. Every big city has a personality of its own, and New York City simply bubbles with the energy and excitement of its own special magic. New Yorkers love it, and even though it is often violent, often tarnished, and often tragic, they still stay loyal to the place they call the Big Apple. Okay, that is the Fame Annual from 1983. Okay, how well did this do back in 1982 when they were released? Well, that was the year that Fame, the TV series, had begun. It was 2 years after the blockbuster movie Fame, with the theme tune that was sung by Irene Cara. So the TV, once the TV hit the screens, it was extremely popular, especially here in the UK. And obviously everyone was after Fame information. There was magazines that were being sold weekly, comics and so on. And when the annuals came out, they were sold immediately. And they have a tendency, or in fact, all the annuals were released September, October, November time, in time for Christmas. And anybody who was anybody had annuals in their Christmas stockings or sacks on Christmas morning. It was staple diet. We didn't have things like video recorders. It was a little bit early for video recorders in 1982. I think some people may have just had video recorders, but they were just beginning to come through into family homes, but few and far between at that point. There was no DVDs, there was no live streaming, there was no internet, anything like that. So if you wanted to watch a film, you had to watch it on a cinema or watch it on the TV when it was being broadcast. Or if you were lucky enough to own a VHS video recorder and you knew a video shop, you could go and hire a video cassette for the evening, which I remember back in the day, but when they first came out, we were going and we were paying $2.50 for a night to hire one video cassette. If you compare that to today's money, you'd probably be looking at somewhere in the region of about 15 quid to rent a film for the night. So, but there we are. I suppose it's similar to what you're paying now, Sky, when you're renting a movie off of Sky or Netflix or something like that. Anyway, for me to stop waffling. Yes, they did very well. It was a very, very successful show, and lots of merchandise spanned from it, and the annuals were one of those things. And it was a great way for us to continue to enjoy our favourite programmes, when they weren't being broadcast. So there was also activity books and all sorts of other things being done. But anyway, let's not digress. So yes, very, very popular and extremely well sold. Okay. Let's move forward 27 years, 28 years even, to 2025, which is not 28, 48 years, I should say, to 2025, which is where we are today. 45 years, I should say. Let me get that right. 45 years on from when, no, I'm talking rubbish. 43 years on from when this annual was produced. Do they come up for sale very often nowadays? And the answer to that is not really. You do occasionally see the Fame annuals pop up on the platforms, but not as often as you would expect, considering how popular the show was and how many of these annuals were produced back in the 1980s. They were mass produced. All the annuals back in those days were huge numbers produced, because that was a huge popularity thing back in the day. Obviously nowadays, things have changed a lot. Annuals are nowhere near as popular as they used to be, and you only get a handful nowadays coming up towards Christmas, whereas before, there was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different annuals being made available at the end of each year. So surprisingly, they don't come up as often as I thought they would have, and also when they do, they're in various different states of condition. Now, bear in mind, for me, annuals has got to be in as close to mint condition as I could possibly find to go into my collection. And I know a lot of collectors are the same. They want them as close to mint as they can find, as close to new as you could possibly find. So if you are intending to buy on a platform, do be careful, because somebody's idea of very good condition could be somebody else's idea of acceptable condition. There is a big scope of differences there between people's opinions. So do be very careful if you intend to buy on a platform. Remember to read the description and have a good look at the images, so there's no disappointment after the item arrives. And don't forget, some of the platforms use stock images and stock descriptions, so you could be looking at an item like this which is in almost mint condition, but if it's no new available, the order automatically goes to the cheapest used item, and that may very well not be what you're looking for. It could be one with splits on it, it could be loose pages or missing pages, could have writing all over it. So if it doesn't say new and it says used, click that use link and read what you're about to order to save any disappointment when the item arrives, because it wouldn't be the fault of the seller and it wouldn't be the fault of the buyer. It's just the way the platforms work. Very misleading, but that's how they were designed to work. Silly if you ask me, but there we are. Now, alternatively, you don't need to go through any of that rigmarole. You can come straight to us at Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles, where what you see in front of you is exactly the item you will receive should you wish to purchase it. We don't believe in stock images and stock descriptions, and you can only order the item that you're looking at in front of you. You can't order something else at the same time. So you order the item you're looking at, and you can go on and find something else and order if you want to. But what you order is the item you're looking at. Now, this particular item, as I said, it was part of a shop buyout, and there was a lot of annuals that were left unsold. They've been reduced, and then they were, because they still didn't sell, they were put into the stock room. And of course, when we went in and bought out all their stock, we bought out all their stockroom stock as well, and there's some great classic annuals in there that went all the way back to the 1960s. So we've got some wonderful annuals, all very, very old, but all in pristine condition, almost pristine condition, and we are making those annuals available to our customers on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many, many other vintage annuals. And many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive that this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we are literally shooting videos and uploading items for everything that goes into the website. So if there's something that you're looking for, something you've never been able to find, something you've been searching for forever, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful Fame annual from 1983. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.